Good morning, amazing people. How are you doing this morning? I hope you had a wonderful night and I hope you are as excited as me. This morning, I'm going to be sharing with you on this topic. Are you the kind of person that always ignores the reality? Do you always ignore the reality of things? That's the question we are going to be sharing on this morning. And it's exciting to note, as it is always said, you cannot advise a woman who is in love, just like you cannot advise a newly born again person about the so-called pastor that led them to Christ, especially when they are just so excited about their new lifestyle. You can't advise them against their pastor that led them to be born again, just like you cannot advise a woman who is madly in love. This sharing has to do with ignoring the reality. I once lived in a neighborhood where a woman was madly in love with someone. But unfortunately, this man was so brutal. This man was that kind of woman beater. I don't know how love is. Maybe my own kind of love is different. I don't understand how a man will claim to love a woman, but yet will be beating her up on a daily basis. I don't understand how a man will claim to love a woman, yet will keep traumatizing her on a daily basis. She may not even accept her family members or relatives to visit her. This man used to beat the so-called, and because the woman finally had a child for him, but in the long run, they didn't get married. They did not get married. I believe this man was using this lady, because I don't want to say that he loved her. Because if you love someone, you will not be beating the person until you chain up the person and beat until the person will bleed. You have to mop up the room because of the different stains everywhere. And I kept looking at it. It was difficult for me to outrightly meet this lady, to tell the lady, please leave, this man does not love you. So in a technical way, in my little knowledge then, I had to tell the lady that, please, in our place, in our culture, we don't accept that a man should beat a woman like this. In our culture, if a man does this, the woman will just go. The woman cannot stay. It was my own little way of, because at least they were older than me. So it was my own little way of expressing myself to let this lady know that you don't deserve such. And the lady was quite a very beautiful and humble lady. But this man was only with her because this lady was doing petty trading and so was sustaining the family. The man was in the university then, so this lady was the one sustaining them, because the lady used to sell throughout. So the man will go, they will live in the morning together. She will drop where she does her petty trading. The man will go to the university. On coming back, the man will stop and meet her. They will come back home together. But from every indication, I didn't believe this man loved her. But the thing kept, in my own little way, I told her that in our culture, this kind of thing is not tolerated. Unfortunately, she went and told the guy that I've said that she should leave the guy. But that was my intention. Honestly, I was telling her like that because my intention was to let her know that she should leave this guy, that the guy doesn't love her. But as love is, she went and told the guy that I said she should leave him. So the guy came and met me. Angel, did you tell my wife that she should leave me, this and that? In fact, he was not even married to the lady. They were just girlfriend and boyfriend. I said, I don't remember saying so, but I was just sharing with her what happens in our culture. That you don't tie up a woman, you don't beat up a woman and lock her up until you have to mop her up and be using pain balm to rub to be able to bring down certain inflammations, and using mentholated spirit to clean off wounds. And I say it's not done in our place. I didn't tell her that she should leave you, but I only told her that in our place, so maybe it's in their culture that is like that, that is love. In our place, if you do that, it's not love. That's what I told the man. Nevertheless, even if he were angry, but I spoke my truth in a softer way. Whatever the case, the lady didn't listen to me. They used my name to settle, but the battery didn't stop because the man continued. And he ended up getting this lady pregnant. The lady got a son for him, and they later on separated. So why am I sharing this story? I'm sharing this story to let us know that you can ignore the reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring the reality. That's the truth. The reality in this story is that this man never loved this lady. And if she had listened to me, because despite the way I coined it, she understood what I meant until she went and reported me to the boyfriend. She was struggling to think that the man will stay with her till the end. But the fact that she ignored the reality did not mean that she failed to, face the consequences. So if you ignore the reality, you will face the consequences of ignoring the reality. That is what life is. I hope I made some sense. Good morning.